Out and about now. You're allowed to meet with one household, I think, inside.
Yep.
And I think it's a maximum of 6 people outside from any people. No, Mr. You can come say hello? Nah, run away. So yeah, it's eased, which is like good. Like it was like we were quite lucky in that Han was, when it went in full lockdown, Han was on maternity leave.
Yep.
So because she works in the restaurant industry, so that obviously just got shut down. But she was on maternity leave anyway, and the guys I work with, we furloughed pretty much everybody apart from me and the marketing manager. So like it didn't really impact us hugely. Obviously we couldn't see people and do like things like that, but we were quite lucky that I still worked. It's still like, Monday to Friday was exactly the same.
Yep.
So it didn't have a huge impact on us too much as like some people has. What about you? What are you doing as a job now?
So I work for a liquor wholesaler.
Yeah.
It's a family-run business, and it's all on-premise. So we hadn't, up until this stage, we hadn't focused on retail.
Yeah.
So everything shuts, and that was essentially 100% of our business just on. It started coming back a little bit. People were ordering up a little and trying to load up, and it was just about to go from 20 customers to 50 allowed in each venue. And then about, I think 2 days before, it went back down to 0. So we're in, you can pretty much only go out for essential things, exercise. We're pretty lucky. We just live maybe 200 meters from 2 supermarkets.
Yeah.
Some shopping, so it's easy for us. Doesn't matter if we're locked down too bad, but work-wise, it's a killer, mate. I don't see how a lot of these restaurants and bars are going to come out of it.
Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. Like I think Ham works for quite a, like, it's not a chain. Like, well, it is a chain. Like, they've got probably 100 restaurants in the UK, but so it's not massive. Like, it's not like a Frank and Benny's type big corporate.
Yeah.
But it's big enough that, like, and she manages quite a big one. So I think they'll be all right. Coat, who she works for, I think they'll be all right. There'll be a few casualties, like they'll shut a few, but I think they'll be okay. But I think like the small independents and things like that will, like, it's going to hit hard. Like the company I work for, it's a bit of a mixed bag, really. It's kind of a pork-based business, the Jolly Hog, hence the hog. So we sell sausages, bacon, and pork products into the retailers, like Sainsbury's, Tesco's, things like that.
Yep.
Then we've kind of got an events business, which is obviously just shut. And then we had 2 restaurants as well. And we sold one of the restaurants 3 weeks before lockdown.
Yeah, good.
We talk about it like literally every day. It's like that would have crippled the company.
So you look at how good that is for your business.
Yeah.
On the flip side, those people that bought that business.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, what can they do? Like, we signed it over. We guarantee their rent for 5 years. No, for 3 more years. So we kind of like potentially they could open and shut, and then we have to go back for a year or so. But I think they'll still give it a go. I think they'll give it a year, and by the time they do the refurb, I think they're like the risk to us is about 12 months of rent, so it's not huge. But it's a funny old time, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's mental.
Yeah.
Like,
mate,
have you come out of lockdown and gone back in?
Yeah.
Yeah, tough.
And we're in stage 3. So they just announced today, as of Thursday, we have to wear a mask outside.
Oh wow! Everywhere you go.
Yeah, unless you're under 12, you're running and a teacher or something like that. But it's like a time, regardless. Yeah. So
yeah. We've got to wear them in shops from the 24th of July. So this week. But yeah, that's it.
Remember
so you got to wear them.
24th is 2 days after my birthday. You should remember that.
Of course, it's in the diary, mate. Yeah, like we've got masks. But I just.
How long ago did we make this stupid bet? Well, not a bet, but an agreement.
It must, like, I reckon I was traveling 11, 12 years ago.
Was it 07?
Yeah, because it was going to be Bristol 08.
It was.
You were going to go to Bristol in 08, weren't you? We kept saying. So yeah.
Crazy.
So what's that? Yeah,
now,
12 years ago.
I started a bit of a chat online as it was more of a mental health check, but this was sort of at the start of COVID. I was like, I've got to do something to keep me busy, to keep talking to people in the world, but also seeing these restaurants and bars shutting down and bartenders that don't, they're not allocated any sort of funding or anything like that. There was a lot of pressure on people out there, and I thought it might be a good opportunity to talk about things before they happen, before the shit hits the fan. And then if guys are talking about issues or whatever's going on, I think we're all in a better position to fix it along the way instead of waiting till the end. So we've started obviously self-help Sundays and a bit of it was a bit of fun making in glasses out of foil and like swivel sticks out of a stick. Just random stuff to have a bit of fun. But we've got Milkshake Mate, which is our little hashtag and tagline. So people you tag yourself having a milkshake wherever you are, with the kids, with the family, and it says Milkshake Mate. And then if you search through that, you can see who's in self-help Sundays or who they want, who's having open to having a conversation and things like that. So not just about who's willing to reach out, but it's also who's just out there to reach out to.
Nice.
We started it. So I'm going to start off with a tricky question for you.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. What's your favourite flavoured milkshake?
Oh, that's not a tricky question. It's strawberry.
What sort of strawberry?
What do you mean, what sort of strawberry?
Well, see, I don't like normal strawberry, but I like strawberry quick. Nesquik.
I don't think we have those sort of, like, we have we have fridge milkshakes. Do you have that?
No.
Yeah, so that's probably the only branded milkshake that you can buy in the shop.
Yeah.
So it'll be a strawberry fridge milkshake. If I had to buy a milkshake, that would be my go-to. I'm not a chocolate kind of milkshake kind of guy.
I asked a guy yesterday, and Drew, if you're listening, this is for you, mate. I said, "What's your favourite milkshake?" And he goes, "I bloody hate milk." His favourite milkshake is an orange juice.
Oh, nice. That's very sophisticated.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a little bit of a leaderboard with everyone I chat to, what their favourite milkshake is, and his will.
So what's yours?
Well, I love Blue Heaven.
What's that?
Basically a vanilla that's coloured blue, pretty much.
Okay.
It's nostalgic. It brings me back to happy memories, good times. I think early on you could only get it when you were near the beach, or that's only where I saw it.
Yeah.
In fish and chip shops, of all places. So you go down the beach, you have a great day. After you have a swim or a surf, you get this awesome milkshake. But there's a few different ones out there that we've tried, but we'll see. Now, has in regards to mental health and men's health, how do you think things are for our kids moving forward, and how are things that weren't there for us? Because honestly, when I was sort of 16 to 21, I don't think I'd ever even heard of mental health or men's health. Whereas now there's new things that pop up.
Yeah, like, there's obviously a lot more out there, and there's if I'm cards on the table, like, I'm probably quite close to it all. I know there is a lot out there, and there's a lot more. It's good that us as males are talking about it a lot more, and I noticed that in like our friendship groups, like men like a bit more open to talk. Like that is becoming more and more apparent, which is good. But yeah, I'm probably just a bit kind of close to it all, which isn't a good thing potentially, but that's kind of just my nature.
And I'm probably the opposite. I'm too open.
Yeah, which is probably that's the right way to be though.
Well, if we're all together, then it just balances out.
Yeah, true.
You were what was that, Sydney 07? You were a pretty open person with late nights, cuddles, and
there was a lot of that. Those were the days.
How did you, when you were travelling, were there many pressures?
Was there many what?
Many pressures in finding the next job or meeting new friends and housing and things like that?
Not when I was that age, like there wasn't any pressure. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't like we weren't bad people, but we just kind of did what we wanted to, and that was the whole point of going traveling. We were, let's just go out there, have a whale of a time, which we did, and then kind of come back and be responsible adults. And that's kind of took a while when we got back, but that's kind of where we got to. Do you know what I mean? We went out to travel to just have a bloody good laugh.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
The reason, you probably don't know, the reason I was in Sydney was I was pretty much running from responsibilities and just wanted to look after myself and party and have fun and be that younger guy. And even probably took me a good 4 years after you guys left as well.
Yeah.
To actually just go, mate, you got to sort yourself out. Come on.
Yeah.
Time to.
I think that was where it was for us. Like it wasn't something that we could sustain what we were doing out there. Like it was amazing, but it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous what we were doing. How my body survived that year, I have no idea. But
for anyone watching this, we worked at a bar in Sydney, and they would often give you free drinks, food, before work, during work, after work. Generally would be an hour or two sleep and back straight into it again.
Yeah.
6-7 days a week. It was relentless.
But it was just good fun. And that's why we all did it.
Yeah. I certainly couldn't be who I am now and the father I am now without those days. But when so Connor's 16, he'll be 17 this year. When he asks me questions about those years, it's a real balancing act. What I tell him, what I hold back.
Yeah.
Being responsible and what's being an open book.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, mate. So I've asked a couple of people this, but what do you protect your kids from, and what do you let them do in regards to traveling? And you've done it, you know the ins and outs. Your kids come to you and say, Dad, I want to go to South America.
Yeah, like the honest answer is I'm not there yet. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not even 3 and she's a blob.
Yeah.
But I definitely want them to have the experiences I had.
Yeah.
Like as much as we had an absolute riot in Australia when we were there, like I still feel like I was pretty kind of. I still had my head screwed on, and I was still sensible. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had a lot of fun, but I wasn't stupid or anything like that. So I'd like to think that I definitely want my kids to travel. It was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
obviously apart from having kids and etc. So yeah, like you've got to see the world where you can without going kind of being too deep. Yeah, I like if he said he wanted to go to South America, I'd say go for it. Go like and just trust them.
I've got something that you can warn both your kids about.
Don't go to Sydney.
Well, that's one of them. What about the hand marks that we were using to climb up a wall in Manly that were actually snake holes on a cliff?
The what?
We climbed around a cliff face one time. I think it was in Manly.
Yeah, that vaguely rings a bell.
We said, how good were those foot and hand marks?
And they were snake holes. That about sums it up. I didn't have a clue what we were doing out there.
And we didn't get it doesn't really matter anyway.
Exactly. I remember there was one early on, me and Ollie, when we did a walk. And I think it was the Coogee Bay to Byron walk. And we decided to kind of go off track and go around the cliff. And there was this one point where we were literally climbing through this crevice, probably about this big on our bellies, like with the waves coming in, and it's a cliff edge. And you look back now and you're like, what were we doing? Like one wave and we'd had it.
Yeah.
But you know, you gotta, if that's the worst thing they do, then it's not horrendous, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No. Look, we're all going to make mistakes. We all recover from it. Most of us do anyway.
Exactly that.
I think what you're doing, what I'm doing at home, and if you build the right foundations, then I think the rest will hopefully take care of itself.
Exactly. You know, and I completely that. Like, got an unhappy person. Yeah, you're right. If you build the right foundations and like, you know, you bring them up as you want to bring them up, but then you just got to trust them that they'll be fine.
How many more kids you got coming?
None.
You sure?
None. Yeah, we're quite happy, aren't we, with the four of us?
Hello.
Yeah, you can say hello to everyone.
The youngest guest on Self-Help Sundays.
Right, you gonna go back in now?
So the UK, we haven't been we had a friend that's just gone back to London, and she was saying that the tube and everything was really tough with COVID because like she has to use it to get to work and home. Yeah. It was just so hard because she was saying everyone there knows someone that's had COVID and been sick, whereas here, no one really knows anyone that has had it, like in our circle. Yeah. So it's really tough for it. Like pretty much no one I know gets public transport, but in the UK, it made things really hard because everyone has to use it. Yeah, and this is like we're in Bristol, so it's a good what is it, 2 hours from London, which in the UK terms is a long way. So like London got hit hardest, and it's so densely populated that, you know, the tubes, like you were bound to get it if you went on a tube. Like it was just ridiculous. Like it's an enclosed, hot, non-air conditioned unit. You know, it's just gonna travel. So, but in the southwest where we are, it's been the lowest rate. So we touch wood, we're quite lucky and we're quite risk-free at the moment. But it'll come round, you know. And I kind of, I don't know, my thoughts are it's just going to be like the common cold. Yeah. You know, we'll all end up getting it at some point. Yeah, we'll all end up getting it sometime. There'll just be hopefully more kind of treatment to protect you from it, and then they'll vaccinate the vulnerable, high risk people. The flu. Sorry, she's correcting me, which is, you know, standard life. I think you're right. It was. I said on a previous track that how good it was in hospital, but it was just with COVID around because there's just no one in there as well, like no excess of people.
Completely.
Because it just meant that they could do what they are meant to do and not just stuff around.
Yeah. So were you allowed in for the whole birth? Yeah. So we were. Yeah, I was as well. There were some countries you weren't allowed to bring in a birth partner.
Yeah.
Which is just like I fully understand. But it must have been horrendous.
The Mercy Hospital here, I think, just over the weekend. So the partner can go in for the birth, see the birth, and then they've got to go.
Well, that was me. Once Olivia was born and Han went up to the ward, then I was out. So Han was in there for 3 days.
Yep.
3 days. Yeah, 3 days, and by herself basically. Anything that she needed, I had to drop off at reception, and then they take it up. But Han said it was like obviously I think she'd want me there. But like she said, on the ward it was much nicer because you weren't like there wasn't like families visiting, and the nurses could concentrate on doing what they're trained to do rather than kind of dealing with the public, which can be a nightmare. So we were like with Ethan, Han was in for a week pretty much. So we were quite lucky that she was only in for 3 days this time. And I had Ethan to deal with anyway. So I had to really kind of come home and just kind of be dad.
Yep.
So yeah, it wasn't that bad. It could have been a lot worse. Like all the nurses kind of dealing with what they've got to deal with in full PPE. Like wearing a mask to the shops is so uncomfortable. I mean, like it's got to be done. It's just not a nice feeling. Like, but like they're doing 24 hours a day basically with a mask on. It's crazy.
I noticed it yesterday. I did some shopping. And, like I'm not the fittest or healthiest person on the market, but I put it on. And I felt like I was overheating, and I was like, this is horrible. But yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought about them wearing like basically 24/7 and working hard and moving around quite a lot. So I was just shopping for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, like, part of so the company that kind of I work for, we decided we've got like a mobile kind of, I guess you call it a catering van, that we literally pitched up outside the main hospital in Bristol, and gave out bacon and sausage sandwiches every Friday and Wednesday, just as a bit of a, because we don't really want to give money to the NHS because the government should do that. So we kind of were like, what can we do? And we're like, well, we do food and we serve food. So we ended up giving out over 20,000 bacon and sausage sandwiches for free, which was like it was amazing. Like I talk about it now, and I was like, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And like that was just our little help because like we do think that they were kind of they were heroes, like in both kind of doing COVID work and also kind of looking after my daughter when she was born.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That was our kind of look.
They're getting the recognition that they've probably deserved all along.
For years,
Just taking them for granted.
Yeah, completely. Because do you like? How does it work in Australia? Do you pay for healthcare? How does it work? I can't remember.
Yeah, so you got private health and you've got your sort of public system, and you still end up paying in the end for some, but for most things it's pretty much free.
Free, nice. Yeah, cool.
So public, you wait, whereas private, you've got to pay, and you're meant to get better service, a room to yourself. Things are quicker, but look, Kalani was born in the same hospital I was born in, and it's just a local one, and they were sensational in there, like so good. But it was funny though, the whole time in there, we actually didn't see a doctor. So.
Really?
Well, I think it was about 3:30. Nat had started contracting. The midwife comes in with her helper. And they were absolute legends, these ladies. They were so good, cracking jokes, telling me how useless I was. And then an hour and a half later, the baby was born.
Oh, wow.
The only thing the doctor did was approved Panadol for Nat. Like
Amazing.
An hour and a half, Nat was a trooper, did it all all naturally, no drugs or anything, and she was great. But they were awesome. Yeah, really good. But
yeah, well, like they were great as well. They, you know, they made a bit of a boo boo. Well, three of them did anyway. They throughout the whole process, Ham, that was going normal. And then when she was 9 centimeters, the doctor came in and was like, "That baby's breech," and we were at 9 centimeters. Like, oh, okay. So then obviously we were rushed in. There was a few decisions to be made, but basically we were rushed in then for an emergency C-section. But
wow.
But yeah, they're all here safe and sound now. So it's a story to tell.
Yeah. No, well, that's good. Well, mate, have you got your trusty, do you know, since not having these for 13 years, I've been dying for a Fanta.
Every time I see one. And a Tango just doesn't quite cut it.
Yeah, so we have Sunkissed.
Yeah.
It's not
the same.
No, it's not. Have you got a glass?
I can get a glass.
Hello. So we made this stupid pact that we wouldn't have a Fanta again until the next time we saw each other. And we thought this would be a pretty run-of-the-mill sort of a gentleman's agreement, because we were going to see each other in 6 months' time, so it didn't really matter. Now, 13 years on, Stu still looks the same. I'm a little dishevelled. We finally get to get this gone. It's over. I'm so excited.
Did you just say like the story? Because it was like we used to do kegs, wasn't it? We did kegs in the morning on a Wednesday.
We would move 120 kegs or whatever it was up that stupid path.
Yeah.
Get a toasted sandwich and a can of Coke from the local shop every morning, Brilliant. Every Wednesday morning. And then I got so used to it, but then when Stu left to come back to the UK, I couldn't have one again. And it killed me.
Such a stupid agreement.
I'm really impressed that, well, actually, I'm really impressed that I stuck to it, because I think I would. And I'm super impressed you are. You have as well. But I'm even more impressed that it's going to disappear now.
Yeah, and I can go to the shop and choose the drink that I'd like.
I've got this cocktail glass with a nice big ice cube in it.
Like, it is only 8:30 in the morning here, and I've just done my teeth, so I'm probably not going to drink too much of it, because it's just not going to be enjoyable.
I've just spilled some. How good is this?
Don't waste it.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Oh.
Hans just shouted out, "Can this agreement now disappear so we can have Fanta as a family?"
You can, absolutely.
Yeah, yes, we can.
And you know what? I don't reckon that was worth it, by the way.
It just tastes like all the rest. Mate, can you just hold it up? I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to send it to Ollie, because he'll be very impressed.
Please.
Amazing.
You still catching up with Ol?
Well, yeah, we see him every now and then. So yeah, I see him every now and then. We're not as, we don't see each other as much as we used to. But no, he's expecting his first child in October, which is mental to think about, that he's going to be a dad. Like, he's just always been nah. But yeah, no, look, he'll be a cracking dad.
He will be, mate. He will be.
So
it's funny when all my mates that I talk to, and then even some other friends you sort of meet, no one ever thinks they're ready. And then when it happens, you just have to step up
with it.
And do the right thing. We've got the easy part of the job.
Yeah, for sure.
Wives,
for sure.
Sensational. I don't know how they do everything.
Yeah, completely. With two as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like proper like juggling. Like since working like from home, you do see that a lot more, because normally I just go to work Monday for like 9 hours, come back. I help out when I get back, but yeah, there's a lot more that goes on.
I've said to some people, sometimes you go to work to get away, and now that we're in lockdown and we're at home, like at the moment, I'm actually in my son's bedroom, but I've turned it into a little office studio.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool because I can go downstairs at lunch and have a cuddle, see if everything's okay. If anyone needs a hand, I can help out. So the lockdown's not too bad in the end.
I think it's gonna change the way, like, the working week for like a lot of companies. Because like we talk about it quite often. I used to be in I used to work in like the profession, accountancy, really boring. But it's a very kind of old school profession where like you need to be in an office, you need to be working at a desk. But like this has just proved that you don't.
100%. Yeah.
You can work from home and you can be as productive, and people's mental health will be a lot better because of it.
We're doing cocktail classes, master classes. Restaurants are doing distillery tours where the head distiller films himself or herself going through and where everything's made. So it's the same as being there. Yes, it's not as romantic and not quite the same, but it's quite good. Look, I think if some businesses can save on huge offices and still look after and focus on their employees a little bit more, I think we're going to be in a pretty good place.
I couldn't agree more.
Over here, mate, before COVID, there was about 8 suicides a day, which is just crazy to think about. So that was pre-COVID. Yeah, right. I don't know how all of this, the COVID pressure, I really would be scared to think how much that's changed or blown that out. I think workplaces now are more and better well equipped to handle those pressures. And
for sure.
Now you've been on Self-Help Sundays, mate. Part of the community. Everyone just, Stuart Andrews, just harass him, Facebook, find him online. But mate, next time you have a milkshake, please use the tag Milkshake Mate. Become part of the community, and if we're all having a chat, we're doing preventative measures rather than when the shit hits the fan. I think we're all in a better position.
Nah, of course. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, mate. I'm going to wrap this up.
Yes, top man. Nice to speak to you, mate. Nice to actually
coming on.
Talk to you in person.
It's been too long.
Yeah, like you're only 13 years late to Bristol, so we're still waiting.
Technically,
more than welcome.
Technically, I'm there.
Technically, what?
Technically, I'm there now. I'm on your screen in Bristol.
Right. Okay. Oh, like that is it? The cheap version.
I appreciate it, mate.
Take it easy.
Much love to the family.
Yeah, you too, mate. Take it easy. I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, buddy.